I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda.
It was May 2nd, 2011. Under the cover of darkness, 2 helicopters crossed into Pakistan on one of the most dangerous missions in U.S. military history. Their objective was clear: locate Osama bin Laden. The operation was so highly classified that only a small group of top U.S. officials knew it was taking place.
On September 11, 2001, the scale of the attacks launched a global effort to locate the leadership of Al-Qaeda. By December of that year, the U.S. military had tracked Osama bin Laden to the Tora Bora Mountains of Afghanistan. Over 4 days, a specialized bombing campaign dropped 700,000 pounds of ordnance on the cave complex. But bin Laden used a low-tech deception to survive.
Launching an operation inside Pakistan carried enormous risks, and the president faced one of the toughest decisions of his presidency.
Negotiated a fake radio ceasefire through allied Afghan forces, buying enough time to flee on horseback through the mountains and across the border into Pakistan. After crossing the border, he effectively vanished by disconnecting. He stopped using satellite phones, stayed off the internet, and abandoned all forms of electronic communication. This created a technical wall for the CIA. The United States operated a global signals intelligence apparatus designed to track digital signatures, but those tools have no purchase on a target who stays entirely analog. For years, the investigation struggled with conflicting intelligence. Reports placed him in Iranian hideouts or claimed he had already succumbed to kidney failure. The CIA shifted its strategy from hunting the individual to mapping the network. They began charting the movements of mid-level operatives, looking for the physical links in his chain of command. Since bin Laden couldn't use a phone or an email, he had to rely on handwritten notes to communicate with his organization. Finding him required identifying the specific person trusted to physically carry those messages. Detailed reports began to surface from detainees at centers like Guantanamo Bay. They spoke of a highly trusted courier who had been part of bin Laden's inner circle since before the 2001 attacks. In 2004, captured operative Hassan Gul provided a breakthrough. He confirmed the courier was currently active and identified him by his pseudonym, Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti. With a name, the search remained difficult. Al-Kuwaiti had no known address, no digital footprint, and the CIA still lacked his true identity or physical location. Despite the lack of data, analysts prioritized this single lead. Identifying this physical messenger was the only way through bin Laden's analog defenses. The analog shield held until August 2010. While in the city of Peshawar, al-Kuwaiti turned on his personal cell phone to make a brief call to another al-Qaeda member. The CIA's surveillance grid intercepted the signal instantly, allowing agents on the ground to pinpoint his exact location in the city. Agents followed al-Kuwaiti as he drove his white Suzuki Potahar Jeep out of Peshawar, tracking him as he headed north toward the city of Abbottabad. He eventually arrived at a massive 38,000-square-foot compound. It was located in a middle-class neighborhood, but its physical security far exceeded any of the surrounding homes. A single phone call had undermined nearly a decade of operational security, leading the CIA directly to a physical gate. The property was built with extreme fortifications. It featured concrete walls up to 18 feet high, topped with barbed wire, 2 security gates, and a main house with almost no windows facing the street. The behavioral patterns of the residents were equally irregular. They burned their own trash instead of using local services, and maintained no active internet or telephone lines, despite the property's high value. To confirm who was inside, the CIA attempted a covert DNA collection through a fake hepatitis B vaccination drive. A local doctor and nurses were recruited to gain entry, but they were never permitted inside the main house. Drones captured an occupant nicknamed the Pacer, walking behind a privacy wall. By measuring his shadow against the wall's known height, analysts estimated he was at least 6 feet 4 inches tall, matching bin Laden's physical description. There was still no definitive photograph, but the volume of circumstantial evidence had reached a tipping point. The courier, the fortifications, and the physical height of the occupant created a profile the CIA could no longer ignore. By early 2011, the pressure to act increased. The 10-year anniversary of the 9/11 attacks was approaching, and there were concerns the target might move to a new location soon. The president had to weigh the risks of different military responses. A bomb strike from B-2 bombers was safer for American personnel, but it would leave no evidence of the target's identity. A specialized ground raid carried a high risk of failure, but offered the only way to confirm a kill. The need for absolute identification eventually outweighed the diplomatic risks. Sending American forces into Pakistani airspace without notification was authorized to ensure the search finally reached its conclusion. On May 1, 2011, Navy SEALs launched the mission from Afghanistan.
The stakes were incredibly high. Success would change history, but failure could spark an international crisis.
They used helicopters equipped with stealth technology, flying at extremely low altitudes to avoid detection by Pakistani radar. After breaching the compound walls, the team moved through the buildings. In the initial exchange, they killed the courier who had unwittingly led them to the site. On the top floor of the main house, the team located and killed Osama bin Laden. Within minutes, the SEALs had positively identified him, bringing an end to the search.
Despite unexpected challenges, the team completed the mission and departed safely.
Before departing, the team secured a massive trove of intelligence, including 97,000 documents and dozens of hard drives that detailed al-Qaeda's internal operations. The raid concluded a decade-long search, providing the first definitive closure for the global effort that began in the ruins of the Twin Towers. Months later, local authorities demolished the compound to prevent it from becoming a site of pilgrimage. Today, children play cricket over the remaining concrete foundation. The manhunt reached its conclusion through persistent human analysis, rooted in the observation of one man's singular lapse in security. Over 10 years of hiding ended because of one brief call from a crowded street.